Hello, my name is Professor Nira Chamberlain, and I'm the president of the Mathematical Association. And welcome to the 21st edition of What is the Point of Mathematics? Now, today we have another special guest to have a conversation with. So, without further ado, we shall tell him to actually introduce himself. Go ahead, Dr. Jeffery.
Thank you. I appreciate coming on this program. So, thanks for having me. So, my name is Dr. Jeffery Quaye, and I'm the National Director of Education and Standards at the Aspirations Academies Trust, which is a group of 16 schools, mainly made up of primary and secondary in England.
Okay, very good. So, like I asked all my guests, so I'm going to ask you, so what is the point of mathematics?
Right, really great question. I mean, as a maths teacher, I think I have had similar questions in the past where some pupils have questioned the usefulness of maths either in a lesson or having some negative dispositions where they think, what is the point of mathematics? So I will attempt to answer this question as best as I can. So I think firstly, I think maths is fundamental to human thought and logic. So mathematics is a powerful tool that allows us or enables us to understand the world that we inhabit. It provides us a means to solve problems and improve the quality of human life. And I think mathematics is so embedded in our day-to-day experiences. You think about making financial decisions, you employ, the tools of maths in making those sound decisions, even whether you want to optimize some decision making, you'll be using the tools of maths. But I also think that maths as a subject is a beautiful subject. And bringing the beauty of understanding patterns, looking at logic, and being able to solve complex problems requires the tools of maths. And I think globally, people everywhere employs maths, consciously or unconsciously in their everyday experiences. So I think maths has so much to offer the world in solving problems, as I said earlier, but also making sure that pupils, parents, and generally society see maths as a tangible thing that they can employ, not necessarily being in a maths classroom, but in everyday work and experiences. So I think maths has so much, it is central to our everyday life, if I must put it that way. So I can't see any day I've gone through my activities and I haven't employed maths. And I think most people, even just using a microwave, there is a mathematical function at play, just daily putting your food in the microwave to either cook or just to create some temperature with that meal. So maths is so important, and we can't overlook that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to emphasize one of the points you said there was that every day we either consciously or unconsciously use mathematics. Do you know what I mean? Every day, or there probably isn't not many days that we don't unconsciously or consciously use mathematics, like maybe like time, temperature, how fast that car is going. Do you know what I mean? And you use the example of the microwave oven and it's cooking, consciously or unconsciously, we use mathematics. And like you said, that mathematics is a beautiful and powerful subject. So thank you very much indeed for expressing that opinion. I just wanted to highlight that point that you just said there.
No, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So so the question, well, just one emphasis. So let's say, for instance, if a student says to you, and a student says to you while you're in school, said, "Look, but we're using sine and cos and trigonometry. Why am I doing this?" What would you say to that?
Yes, so I think initially there might be components of knowledge that pupils can see. Probably if you taught them topics about ratios. I imagine if you teach topics on percentages, reverse percentages, they can see the relevance in terms of going into the shops. But when you talk about sine and cosine rule, you want pupils to appreciate that they need a wide repertoire of skills to solve complex problems. And whilst it wouldn't be immediately evident when cosine rule will be required in trying to find a length or an angle, it's clearly a knowledge-based subject where having more knowledge means that you have more efficient ways to solve problems. And if you want to optimize decisions or, whether it's modeling, you need a range of skills and knowledge that you employ in solving problems. So I say to people, for instance, if you want to say to somebody that when you drive a car and you get to the roundabout, you apply more force. Now, it might sound really ridiculous. How do you apply more force? But when you teach pupils, for instance, let's say direct proportion relationships, you can say that force is proportional to the mass of the car. And therefore, because you accelerate a lot, you realize that Newton's second law of force, is proportional to acceleration. And if the mass of that car is constant, you're applying more force, whether clearly you can't drive at speed, going round and round about, there's going to be some accidents. So pupils then start to see the kind of relevance of having a wide range of understanding of different mathematical concepts. So occasionally there's doubts in people's mind how relevant some of the topics may apply to their everyday experiences. But I think the more we empower them with knowledge, the greater their competency and the more powerful they can see the world around. I think understanding the world requires, wealth of knowledge. And I think more maths knowledge means that the wealth of the nation is greater and you have a more educated population that can help grow the wealth even better. So it's not all about just solving maths questions that require specific concept. It's about having that rounded education.
Okay, so it adds to the rounded education. Thank you for that. I'm going to move on to my next question. Now, I know last year the Prime Minister of the UK announced an idea that mathematics should be made compulsory for all pupils up to the age of 18. Do you agree with this, yes or no? And can you tell us the reason why?
Thank you. Right. So I think I did comment on this announcement in the schools week. But I think the key thing for me is that the announcement is a welcome news for any maths educator. Because I think I think it's a great decision to bring the ABS on board. Of course, the implementation will need some careful thinking because we have students that have negative dispositions towards maths. So currently they think I'll only do maths till year 11 and I wouldn't need to do maths again. So we need to be careful about implementation. And I think there should be different branches of maths that pupils can take on board. Not everybody expected to do AS maths or A-level maths. So that would be a disaster if that is the policy direction. But I think that having different branch of maths, financial maths, having some, for instance, functional skills, maths that requires a bit more contextual information that pupils can see the relevance, something related to business or the field of study that they are interested in. So I think having more students doing maths means that, one, we're going to have pupils having more opportunities because maths open doors. And I think maths is really a very essential tool for many disciplines and many careers. So imagine everybody have maths knowledge till 18. That country that implements such a policy is going to be ahead of the curve in terms of the skill set of the population, but also having to deal with the legacy of negative dispositions. Because currently we have pupils that hated maths at school and they keep talking about that, and it becomes socially acceptable. If someone says, "Oh, I hate maths," nobody challenges that. So having a policy that says, well, you wouldn't stop doing maths at age 16, you will be continuing with some form of maths. I think that policy is going to be a winner. And also for parents, knowing that the children will be studying maths till 18, they will be more inclined to start looking at best ways to support young people to embrace maths as a discipline. And I can't really see how we can have increased technological advancement or advancement in medical sciences if we don't have a very kind of strong workforce with mathematical foundations that can be leveraged. So I think the Prime Minister is in the right direction in terms of bringing about some of these policy announcements. But I think that there should be some considerations about how to support pupils, particularly the segment of society that finds maths very challenging or have some anxiety. And we know there are some affective variables like, pupils really not confident with math, so they don't want to be really associated with maths. How can we grow the confidence of young people so they see maths as really an essential subject, and therefore they want to engage with it much longer rather than seeing it as just passing on exams. And can I just add that I've seen students with very good grades in maths but still don't want to study maths beyond 16. Well, partly because socially people might have said maths is too difficult, or maths, is not something they need to progress further in their careers. But if we see maths as an integrated subject, a subject that is a bedrock of many advancements in terms of technology and science, then everyone should have those opportunities. And math study, I think middle class children have greater kind of interest in maths than the working class. So you could see there are some inequality issues with maths where middle class children have more positive dispositions towards maths compared to the working class. So I think by having a policy that goes to 18, we are creating some leveling opportunity in terms of equity, giving everybody access to maths before they take on universities or work or apprenticeship routes. So it's a welcome announcement, really.
Excellent, excellent. So I like that part where you're saying that it is it's like a leveling up. You know, it's good. It's good for leveling up opportunity. It gives you the capacity to level up. I like that point of view. So, Dr. Jeffery Quaye, I'd like to say thank you very much indeed for this opportunity to talk to you, and excellent answers there. Now, my name is Professor Nira Chamberlain. I am the president of the Mathematical Association, and that concludes the 21st edition of What is the Point of Mathematics? Thank you.
Thank you for having me.